Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Casey. Made another video this weekend in my off-road van series, and I actually filmed the video yesterday. Today's Saturday. I think it's October 26th. So I made the video yesterday, Friday, and I wanted to produce some footage showing what the van's capable of off-road. So I was able to get the van on some property I'm pretty familiar with. So I took it through a creek crossing, which normally there's quite a bit of water in this creek, but here in Ohio we've been having a drought pretty much all summer, so there wasn't a whole lot of water in the creek, so it kind of wasn't as exciting footage as it could have been. But I still took the van into a creek bed and then up and out, and then took the van up a hill that's really an old tractor road. It's rutted out pretty bad. But anyway, I made this video footage yesterday, and then I was putting the footage together last night. Realized that a camera, or in my case, I was filming with an iPhone, it really doesn't do the terrain justice, because the terrain is quite a bit steeper than the video shows. In the video it kind of looks like it's flat. The road was quite a bit more rutted out than the video shows. For some reason, cameras really don't pick up a whole lot. So I debated whether or not I even wanted to put the footage out. Thought about, well, maybe I can make some better footage somewhere else, but really don't have time for it right now, unfortunately. So I'm going to go ahead and put the footage out. So when I was done last night and I put it together, I also noticed that the sound quality wasn't quite as good as I would have liked. Full disclosure, I dropped my mic. Actually, I didn't drop it. I had my microphone in my pants pockets, and I washed the microphone. So I didn't think it would work at all. So, but anyway, I let it dry out, and it seemed to work well enough. But in the video, I did notice that the quality wasn't as good as it normally is. So I do apologize ahead of time for the poor video quality. And also, like, the iPhone just doesn't really do justice to the terrain I was going on. And I also realized that I didn't film an intro to the video, so that's what I'm doing today. But anyway, this video does show, that the van is capable of going off-road into at least, say, terrain that would be more than moderately difficult for a normal height van or passenger car. The van really performed really well. So this may give you an idea that, if you go with a Journeys lift kit on a Sienna van, it will open up some paths, some roads, some areas for you to, experience off-road, and maybe find a place to go, camping away from normal campgrounds and that kind of thing, and really just enjoy, being out in the woods where a lot of people can't go. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the footage, and again, I apologize for some of the bad sound quality. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the video. All right, gonna do a creek crossing here. So the next thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna go up on top of this hill. Got a old tractor road that gets washed out pretty bad. It's not a really good road. It's got some pretty deep ditches in it. First, I'm gonna go over here and go up this embankment, which is also pretty steep. So we'll see how well the van does going up this. This is pretty tight, so we'll see how it goes. That was actually pretty impressive. So I would have to say that was a pretty good test for the minivan, to be honest with you. It's actually one of the steeper inclines I've taken it off of, taken it up, but it didn't have any troubles at all. So you can see I'll walk up this and I'd say it's actually pretty steep. All right, so the first part of the test off-road today went pretty well. Made it across the creek with a pretty, or at least mildly aggressive exit out of the creek bed. And then I just crossed, or at least went up pretty good grade that for sure I would not have gone up. Now we're trying to make our way to the tractor road. I'm just kind of playing around here. Again, all of this is some pretty steep grades, and there are a ton of dropped leaves, which on wet grass at least makes it pretty slippery. But I gotta tell you, this all-wheel drive system in this van is, I don't think it's designed for pure off-roading, but man, it does pretty well. And I tell you, the one thing about cameras is they just don't do it off-road justice, because the inclines and that kind of thing are always much steeper than what they appear on camera. All right, so continue up this tractor road again. This road itself is not ultra challenging. I'll openly admit that. But I just don't see any way that I'd take a stop and hike the minivan up this. There's all kinds of little drops, some rocks sticking up, and any of those could rip the front plastic side off the front. Right now I'm creeping along at about 2 or 3 miles an hour. Kind of feels like I'm cheating, to be honest with you, because I'm in a minivan that I could drive to work every day. I can haul people around, I can travel in it, I can do groceries in it, but at the same time I can off-road in it, I can camp out of it, emergency situations, I can live in it if I needed to. All right, so now I got a pretty aggressive gully. Right, so this is a pretty good obstacle right here, and I don't know if I can get a good enough angle to show. That's not bad. So hopefully the camera will pick this up. It's a pretty good rain washout. All right, so crossing the rain washout on this road was much simpler than I thought it would be. Not gonna lie. Thought I would slip and slide a little bit, but van did amazingly well. All right, so we're gonna continue on up to the top. And so dip down in this washout. One thing about off-roading, I suppose, especially if you're in a vehicle, it's not really designed to go off-road like this. It's just go slow. Just take it easy. And it's kind of twitching around quite a bit. So with the lift, I mentioned in my review video, the biggest benefit from the lift system is that it just lifts the front end off the ground 3.5 inches. So if you're approaching something, you get extra ground clearance. It doesn't lift your front bumper cover off. And of course, when you're departing an obstacle, the rear end of your van is higher too, so it keeps you from ripping things off. But as far as like a true off-road suspension setup, it doesn't give you extra suspension travel. It doesn't make it any stiffer or softer, like true off-road suspension would, which is perfectly fine. All this is a spacer lift. It doesn't actually change the dynamics of the way the vehicle rides and drives. Man, this is fun. Mentioned I've had Tacomas, 4Runners, Sequoias, and they handled this absolutely no issues whatsoever. Well, the van also handled it absolutely no issues whatsoever. But for some reason, I kind of enjoy it more in the van. Just, again, it feels like I'm cheating, like I shouldn't be able to do this kind of thing. So here comes another pretty cool obstacle. So here I've got a pretty decent elevation change, and it's graded up pretty good. And I really hope this, I'll do an extreme close-up. I know this isn't particularly exciting footage, but you can see the rocks that I have to go over. Some of the washouts we're looking at. This is just not something I would do in a stock height van. You can see some of the fall colors starting to pop out, and it is beautiful in Southern Ohio in the fall. Absolutely gorgeous. If you could pick it up, there's some pretty good tree scraping there. And I mentioned before, this is an older van. It's a 2013 with 175,000 miles. So to be honest with you, it gets a few scratches and scrapes. I don't even care really. Battle scars. Definitely got some low-hanging limbs here. I probably shouldn't be scratching it stuff on top, but I'm gonna let it fly and see how it happens. All right, so here got a pretty aggressive downhill. Absolutely gorgeous this time of year. So not entirely related to this particular van video, but I'm also at the location today where I'm going to build my off-grid cabin. Some of the other videos on this channel show me sawing logs and going to build an off-grid cabin, but this is the location where I'm actually going to build the cabin, so I'll let you take a look at it. This is a 1 acre property. It was given to me about 25 years ago, I think, by my dad's uncle, who, you know, growing up, he was really like my grandpa. My grandparents were dead before I was born. My grandpas, both my grandfathers were dead before I was born. So Francis ended up becoming like a grandpa to me. And when he passed away, before he passed away actually, he gave this acre of land to me. Really, really nice, pretty site, kind of rolling grade. See some beautiful trees. I had intended on starting the cabin this summer, but you know, time is, one thing leads to another, and before you know it, summer's over, and I didn't get my cabin started. But no worries. I'll be retiring at the end of this school year, so then I'll have all the time I need to work on this project. But just wanted to let you take a look at this property. I really don't know what the cabin's going to look like yet, so kind of exciting to still think about, you know, what it might look like. All right, so we'll go ahead and wrap this video up. I hope you enjoyed watching. As you can see, the van with the Journeys lift does really, really well off-road, especially on these kind of soft off-roads, you know, nothing too rugged, but definitely a stock height van, you know, wouldn't have been able to do this. So if you got anything out of it, you know, like and subscribe. Appreciate it. Talk to you later.